Oh my goodness, thank you so much for stopping to help me. I can't tell you how many people just kept going when I tried to flag them down. I know, right? Where's the milk of human kindness when you need it, right? People these days, huh? Oh, yes, what I needed. Okay, well, hang on. I've been practicing this. Stand and deliver. No, that's not commanding. Stand and deliver. Stand and deliver. There you go. Stand and deliver. Stand and deliver. It's what the old highwaymen used to say. I'm trying to bring back the old traditions. Highwaymen. Oh, no. You're thinking of truck drivers. I'm talking about highwaymen. Like highway robbers. Like centuries ago, they used to stand by the side of the road, and then when a carriage would come by, they would jump out and level their pistols at the driver and say, "Stand and deliver." Or they might say, "Your money or your life." Or if it was a woman in the carriage, they might say, "Your jewels or a kiss." Because, you can't point your weapon at a woman, and you can't threaten to hurt a woman. And also, the woman might not be traveling with jewels, or the jewels that she had might be really special to her. So you give her the option of a kiss instead. It's a little creepy, but it was kind of sweet compared to the alternative. I mean, they were trying to be gentlemanly about it. Robin Hood was a highwayman. And we all like Robin Hood, right? Yeah, I'm basically Robin Hood. Oh, yeah, yes. Yes, I am robbing you. Yeah, like Robin Hood. Did that not come across? Huh. I might need to rethink. But the gun. The gun pointed right at you and stand to deliver. What else could that mean? Deliver. Deliver the goods. Oh. Yeah, I could see where the confusion would be. Well, no, that's what it meant. So, yeah, pony up. No. I wasn't gonna give it to the poor, and you don't seem especially rich. But I'm not well off. I mean, that card legit is broke down. The only thing is, though, that I know how to fix it. I didn't really need your help. It's just a loose connector. I just have to bang it on, and it'll start fine. But I'm not as well off as a lot of people, and you're driving a nicer car than I am, so it's practically the same thing. So, come on, now that you know what it means, stand and deliver. Really nothing? Oh, well, no. Thank you, but cards don't do me a lot of good. I would never remember your PIN number even if you gave it to me, and, they're really traceable. There's only so many places I could use it. Oh, jewelry. Do you have jewelry? Oh. No. I mean, thank you. I do like it. And as much of a Dragon Age fan as I am, though, I don't see myself getting any kind of money from a pawn shop for stainless steel. Oh, you didn't know? No. It is stainless steel, I assure you. Well, I mean, you can just tell. I mean, Look, you've been wearing it long enough that it's put a little dent in your finger, so it's not new, and it's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit not clean around the crevices and the details. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, like, it collects soap, it collects dust, it collects whatever, and it hasn't been cleaned for a while. So those two things together, you've been wearing it for a while, and it hasn't been particularly cleaned. If it were silver, it would have tarnished a little bit, and it also would have been scratched up, dinged up. That you've been wearing for a while, and it still has no scratches, no tarnish. It could be platinum, which would stop it from getting scratched, but also I don't see a lot of Dragon Age branded stuff being made in platinum. Yeah, you would have known by the price if it were platinum. Oh, okay. Well, was it the type of friend who would spend a few $1,000s on a ring for you? Well, there you go. I'm sorry to break it to you. Yeah, exactly. It's the thought that counts. And the thought here was that your friend knew you liked Dragon Age and went out of their way to find a really cool ring, even if it's not very resellable. Yeah, it is nice to have friends like that. Well, okay, well, how about your phone? You must have a phone. Give me your phone. Oh, wow. How long have you had this phone? No, I just didn't think any of the original flip phones lived this long. It's cool, though. Also, not something I could get a lot of money for. Well, the real money in selling phones that you've stolen is from the data that's on the phones. The phone is just a part of it. People who buy phones usually want all the information that's on the phone more than they want the phone. And those old flip phones didn't store a lot of information. Well, I suppose that's that then. What? No. Oh, God, no. Of course I'm not going to shoot. What? You've been really nice to me. Why would I do that? Yeah, like everything from the very beginning, stopping to help me and then being so nice about, while I practiced my stand and deliver lines, and you've just been really nice. If it helps, if I had taken anything from you, if you did have anything that I could have resold, I would have felt really bad about it. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that I might not be cut out for this. Oh, no, I've never done this before. Not successfully, anyway. This is the closest I've come. Usually people don't stop. I mean, a couple of people were nice enough to call the police when they saw me stuck by the side of the road. And the cops just come over, lift the hood of my car, and then knock the connector back on so that I can start my car again. It's nice of them, but also not very easy to make a living as a highway robber nowadays. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of surprised you stopped. I'm glad you didn't have anything on you that I could take and resell. Why did you stop anyway? I mean, you've got a phone. You could have just called 911 for me. Oh. Okay, well, thank you. You're kind of cute, too. Honestly, I do think that the whole black outfit is kind of, working for me. The billowy sleeves. I like the pirate sleeves. Do you like this? Yeah, I like it. I was going for kind of a female Dick Turpin look. Dick Turpin, he was... Never mind. He was just a highway robber. Really? You really want to hear about it? Okay. Yes, you twisted my arm. So, back in the 1800s, highway robbering was a big thing. It was easy to stop carriages on the side of the road because the roads were narrow, they were treacherous, and it would take the law a long time to get to you. First, whoever you robbed had to get to the next town in order to tell the police before they could even come back and catch you. People got away with it left, right, and center. And it was seen as a little bit of a folk hero rebellion because they were robbing carriages, and carriages were owned by the rich. So you were robbing from the rich, and you were giving to the poor, meaning yourself, right? Exactly, like I said. So, in the 1700s, there was a highway robber named Dick Turpin who became famous kind of posthumously. I mean, he was just an ordinary highway robber. He got caught, he got hung. Not for the highway robbery that he would become famous for, but for one of his many other crimes. But at the time that he was executed, writers would create these stories, these fictionalized versions of interviews with condemned men that were supposed to be their life stories and their last words. It was all complete rubbish, but they sold it to a ravenous crowd of people who wanted these stories. I mean, let's face it, true crime is popular today. It's basically that. So very quickly, he was turned into this sort of Robin Hood-like figure, robbing from the rich, giving to the poor. And then one writer after another started creating stories that he would appear in. All the way up into the 20th century, there were comic books written about him. But in the 1800s, there were some ballads that really set his legend in stone. Sort of created him into this romantic hero. There's one ballad that talks about his sweetheart, the innkeeper's daughter, black-eyed Bess. Bess had been captured by the redcoats, and she was being used as bait after one of Dick Turpin's so-called associates and friends had been captured. He offered information on how they could catch Dick Turpin. He said that Bess had been told to watch the road leading up to the inn at night, that Dick was going to come for her and they were going to run off and be married. The king's army captured Bess and tied her up with a musket pointed right at her chest. If she tried to stand up, she would blow herself away. Then they all ran off to hide and leave Bess right there where Dick Turpin would be able to see her, but he wouldn't be able to see what was going on until they were close enough to capture him. They taunted Bess, and they told her how they were going to kill him as they tied her up. They were lewd and lascivious and nasty. And then they gagged her so that she couldn't scream and warn her lover. All was quiet. They were all watching the road. And then the trip-trop of his horse's hooves could be heard. Bess knew she had to warn him, but there was nothing she could do. She couldn't scream. She couldn't run. She couldn't get away. The only thing she could do was wriggle, wriggle, wriggle until her finger got onto the trigger of that musket. And she warned Dick of the imminent danger with that shot to her own chest. I know, right? How sad is that? Okay, so Dick Turpin hears the shot. He hasn't seen what's gone on, but he's heard the shot. He takes off running the other direction, and he escapes. It's not until the next day that he discovers what happened, and that his beloved black-eyed Bess was dead. And he goes charging at the British Army, because that's a good idea when you're one person, but he goes charging in his anger at the British Army, and they just gun him down. Bess did it all for nothing. Or, more romantically, she did it all so that they could be together forever in death. Either way, it was a crap situation. But by the end of this one ballad, the story goes that to this day, on a winter's night, because it was winter in the poem, when the road to the inn looks like a ribbon of moonlight, because that's how they kept referring to it in the poem. So, on a winter's night, when the road looks like a ribbon of moonlight, you can hear Dick Turpin trip-tropping up to the inn, and you'll hear him whistle. Oh, because he was supposed to ride up to the window and then whistle so that she knew he was there. So, on a winter's night, when the road to the inn looks like a ribbon of moonlight, you can hear the trip-tropping of Dick Turpin's horse as he rides up to the window, and you'll hear a whistle, and in the window you can see his black-eyed Bess waiting for him. The story is better told in the poem, but it's a really long poem, so I figured I wouldn't read it to you because it's a mouthful. But it's good, and it spawned a hell of a lot of historical romance novels. Yeah, I might have read one or two. Well, this has been weirdly nice. It's been a nice chat and nice meeting you. And now I'm kind of sorry it wasn't under different circumstances. But hey, if I hadn't tried to rob you, I wouldn't have met you at all. So, it was nice meeting you. You can go now. Well, of course you can. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but you don't actually have anything that I can steal and use. What do you mean the other thing I said? I said standard deliver, your money or life. Oh, dude, no, I would never really. And to be honest, like, this gun isn't even a real gun. It's, yeah, kind of embarrassing to admit, but there you have it. I didn't really mean it. I didn't say your money or your life for specifically that reason. I didn't want anybody to think I was actually threatening their life. What other thing? Jewels are a kid. Oh. You're right. I could steal a kiss, since you're not giving me your jewels. I could steal a kiss, right? All right. Then your jewels are a kiss. You wanna, here. You wanna put your phone number in my cell? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. Maybe look into other historically dead occupations. There haven't been any stay makers for a while. The stay makers, stays. They made stays, women's undergarments. They were what corsets were called before they were corsets. But that's a whole skill set that I don't necessarily have either. I mean, not going to be any worse than being a highway robber. All right, well, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to go tap the connector back onto my car and get out of here. Thank you. And this has been nice. Weirdly nice. If you don't end up taking my phone number and just using it to guide the cops to where I am, then, which, by the way, no harm, no foul. I have it coming if that's what you do. But if this ends up actually being a thing, it is definitely the weirdest meet cute I've ever heard of. So there's that. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go from here and look into volunteering at a living history museum or something. That might be a better idea. All right. Thank you. And drive safe, and don't stop for people on the side of the road, because, most bad guys are going to be better at it than I am. So, take care of yourself. Well, they were cute. If this doesn't get me arrested, it's going to be really interesting. Oh! Degenerate poet. That's what I could be. A degenerate poet. Why didn't I think of that before I tried to become a highway robber? Parchment and quills is going to be so much cheaper than flintlock pistols. Oh, yeah, but still no, my stomach could never handle that much gin and ale. Back to the drawing board. Hey there, cupcakes. Thank you so much for listening to the end of that little bit of lore. I have so many people to thank once again. Thank you to Andy Omai for the super thanks, and welcome to all of my new patrons, all of my spice cakes, and my new pound cakes, who are just going to be scooping up all that spicy goodness that I've been posting these past few weeks. Hello, Clayton Cocatello and Vader Jr. and the Achilles Variety Channel, Isaiah G., Lonely Firewolf, Robert Shervanek, and Zaref. It's so nice to have you with me, and I hope we can get to know each other in the Patreon Discord server and in the chat right there on Patreon. I will look forward to hearing from you. And there are all those very special, helpful people who allow me to do this 5 days a week, of whom Lonely Firewolf is now one, and there's also Nosti, and Rogue Scholar, Barry Wilburn, Esteed, Anon, Harper Evolution, Wolf 9004, Vile Mouse, Succubus Slave, Malice Silo, Army Guy 007, Mr. Fabulous, Bunny, Tiny the Taxman, Meryl, Inline Flaws, Onin, Red Death 48, Always Able, Moon, Old Bean UK, Kahlua Bear, Forces, Cody, Artlow, Pierce Tailish, and Christian Cleopa. Thank you all so much. And for all of them and all of you who are still here listening, thank you for your time, for your attention, for your likes, for your comments, for your shares, and for your subscriptions. I hope you will all be as good to yourselves as you are to me, and I will talk to you tomorrow.